Deep breath in, all the way out.
You heard that? It wasn't that loud.
Everything you needed, man. You see this whole time, you're normalizing pain, right? Like,
No, seriously.
like there's this whole population out there that they walk around in pain, they normalize it, and they're like, I guess this is it. When you could really hone in and listen to your body and love yourself, your vibration just expands 100%. It applies everywhere. And then now you're just vibing on a higher level. And that essentially you become unstoppable. No one can stop you. And that's what I found within myself is like when I started taking care of my body, when I started listening to my body, taking care of the little signals that my body was talking to me, bro, a lot of things opened up for me. I think whenever a business is trying to grow, I think the community aspect is huge. Yeah. You gotta know who lives there. You gotta know what kind of people, what they eat, what they breathe. Yeah. What are they passionate about? What do they love?
I'm sold. I'm sold. You gotta come to recovery mode.
Pull up.
This is Leo, owner of Bomb. Today we're outside recovery mode in Astoria, Queens. Gonna get some work done. Let's go inside.
How are you? I'm here with Keith and Viv, founders of Recovery Mode. Tell us a little bit about what we're gonna be getting done today.
So today we're gonna do a little body work to help out this guy right here. I heard he has a bad back, so we're gonna fix him up. We'll do a couple of treatments, sports massage. We'll do a little cold plunge and infrared sauna, and hopefully get him back to being the beast that he is. All right, we about to get this work. You ready?
Yeah.
You good? You ready to go?
Yeah. Bring me back to day one that got you to this point now.
So I'm a physical therapist. Me and Vivian are both physical therapists, and we both worked. We actually met working for a hospital-based physical therapy clinic, and what we found was that we weren't able to give the highest quality of care in that setting, insurance-based setting. You know, you're seeing 4 to 5 clients an hour, and we knew we could do better. So we started our own business, and where we actually spend a whole hour with our client and address specifically what they need.
So how long ago was that when you made that decision?
During the pandemic, actually. The pandemic was where things opened up for us. The pandemic kind of gave us time to kind of branch off and get creative and think about how we can shift the system, shift the what we know physical therapy to be, and we kind of took ourselves out of the general physical therapy space, and we just kind of created our own lane where we have people take care of their body, and so that they don't wait until they get hurt. We want people to address and listen to their body beforehand, and take care of their body and really be proactive with the care that they get.
Yeah, I mean, what I immediately think of is how do you balance that really caring about people and also trying to run like a profitable business where in the insurance place they might be seeing 4 people an hour because they can make the most money doing that. At the same time, you care about your client and want them to get the best service. So how do you balance those things?
I think what we just try to strive for is really just making connections, really tailoring the treatment and tailoring what each individual needs. The way that we see it is we understand that health and exercise is how people stay. That's how they increase their lifespan, their health span, right? Yeah. So we want to support that system. We want to keep active people active. And I think in the end, when you're giving a good quality service, it doesn't matter about, it's quality over quantity, no matter what, and we always want to stand by that. We always want to stand by the quality over the quantity.
No, I agree. What was the hardest part, and same thing for Viv, questions for her too. What was the hardest part taking a leap from kind of the standard medical, if that's the right term to describe it, to running your own business and opening something like this? What was the hardest part of that leap? If it was a leap, or was it just a natural progression? Was it just easy for you?
I feel like, not to say anything's easy, but I feel like the progress of just how we transition, even like within this partnership, it felt really smooth, you know, like we had very similar visions with how we wanted, even like down to just aesthetics of the store, how we want things to roll out, which I'm really grateful for, because you know, that's just one step of it, right? Like this should be the easy part, which is just us making decisions, us being on the same page.
Yeah.
And I think like, as far as like what's not necessarily hard, but things you just learn on the way, you know. It's always a growing opportunity, just learning how to run the business. You know, we didn't come into it experts, but we definitely will leave more experience and more, you know, in tune with what everybody needs, our clients, what we need from each other, you know?
Yeah. You said something, Viv, you said the aesthetics of the store, and some people might overlook that, but something I noticed, because I've been to recovery mode a few times now, is the branding and the aesthetics. Like, how important is that to you guys? Because it looks like you really care about it.
Oh, it's very important. You know, I think like I feel like with what we offer within like the sports massages, we make people feel good too, but I think having like a clean space, a space that they want to feel proud of going to, we feel proud of having, I think that's always important, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Is that an elbow?
It's my elbow, brother.
I think also when you come to a place like recovery mode, I think a lot of people maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of people maybe don't realize how much this is beneficial to their body and how much it helps.
Oh no, for sure. I feel like ever since the pandemic, people are more invested in taking care of themselves and understanding that you're not always guaranteed tomorrow, right? It could all be gone in an instant, right? So, you know, health is wealth that's really been our motto since day one. It's like health is wealth, right? Like how you feel on a day-to-day basis is so important. Not only the physical, but the mental.
So when you were first opening recovery mode, was Astoria, Queens where you wanted to be? Like, how'd you end up in Astoria?
So what's funny enough is when we first were looking for a spot to open up, we actually were looking in Brooklyn, so in Williamsburg. And we had opportunities where we went to different viewings and spaces look nice and all, but ultimately we saw this spot was open. Mind you, this didn't even look like this prior to us getting in. And we've already had a lot of clientele that was within this area and just felt like, you know, we have a lot of gyms, we have a lot of active people, and we have the park right there, so we felt like this was a great market to capture, just that fit really your everyday person who is active and who needs that. And really, Astoria didn't really have any places that really supplemented that.
What are some of the things you guys did to get, you said you had a clientele, what were some of the things you guys did to get more clientele? Or some of the things you do now to get more clientele too?
A big thing that we started doing was really running. We built a running group. We started running every Wednesday at Astoria Park, where we invited our clients and anyone who was interested, from beginners to experts. You know, we started just kind of getting into the community a little bit more. And I feel like that really built in trust within our clients that were already runners. You know, and it gives us a good area to understand where people have aches outside of just knowing the anatomy and the physiology behind it, but just knowing little stuff within running that maybe we weren't adept to because we weren't in that culture just yet, you know?
I think that's dope. Like, and we're entering an era where taking care of yourself is cool, right? I think, and I've stumbled across this a couple of times in the journey, is that a lot of people look at this as like, oh, you're a bitch, or you know, you're less of a man, or you're less, you know, you're not macho if you do things like this. If you're not macho if you take care of your body, you know, going to the doctor is kind of taboo, you know.
I feel like that's an older generation thing that's going away.
Right, it's going away, which is why I'm excited for the future of this company, is because we're entering an era where it's cool to take care of your body. It's important to take care of your body health as well.
What is your greatest success story with a client?
I'm thinking of someone we both had that I think one of many. We had a client who is a very big runner and ran multiple marathons, and actually, let's say they had maybe 6 months between training, and they were coming off a stress fracture, and they were just in really bad shape. And just with me and Keith really working on them regularly, let's say like once a week or once every other week, they were able to really run their next marathon, and it was a major marathon, and PR their race. So I think that was really, it was really great to see that what we did, it helped them, and it wasn't just on a everyday level of, hey, I just need to get to work. They trusted us enough to really perform at a high level,
That's awesome. Wait, this cupping feels really, really good.
It's everything you needed, man. You see this whole time you're normalizing pain, right? Like,
no, seriously.
like there's this whole population out there that they walk around in pain, they normalize, and they're like, I guess this is it.
You know what though? Now that you guys started, you guys can't stop because
No,
it's
I'm coming
addicting,
back.
right?
I'm coming back next week.
When you could really hone in and listen to your body and love yourself, your vibration just expands 100%. It applies everywhere, and then now you're just vibing on a higher level, and that essentially you become unstoppable. No one can stop you, and that's what I found within myself is like when I started taking care of my body, when I started listening to my body, taking care of the little signals that my body was talking to me, bro, a lot of things opened up for me. Take a deep breath. Out. Deep breath in. All the way out.
You heard that? It wasn't that loud. All right, so we opted out of the cold plunge. Instead, we chose the oxygen boost and the Normatec. I guess you could quickly describe kind of what these even do.
Survive another day without the cold plunge.
So what does the Normatec and oxygen boost really do for you?
So these are just recovery boosters that we have at Recovery Mode. These are great ways to recover from muscle soreness. The oxygen is meant to reoxygenate your blood, and oxygen is one of the most important things for you to have when your muscles are repairing. So after exercise, after training, the oxygen and the compression therapy are very useful for having you bounce back and recover better so that you could get back to training.
I guess back to kind of the business side of things. We spoke about the past, we spoke about kind of the present of Recovery Mode and how you feel about just the services that you offer. But this location has been open for a year, correct?
Yes.
How do you guys view the future of Recovery Mode? Are you happy? Well, of course you always have some level of like gratitude and happy where you are, but do you visualize Recovery Mode as like becoming a major chain? Do you want to keep it one location? What are your visions for Recovery Mode?
I mean, we definitely can see ourselves expanding. We've been growing a lot, even just within the 1 year of being here, and just grown a really big running community. And we think we definitely want to see ourselves immersed where we are the go-to recovery spot, where athletes know, like, hey, we're in desperate need. We want to get our performance to this level. Where can we go? And it's like, all right, we know a spot, and it's Recovery Mode.
Did you have the same goals back then that you have now? Or only now that you see that it's been very successful, that you're like, okay, we need to put some gas on this?
That's a great question. I think honestly, when we partnered up, I don't think we even imagined we would even get to this point, right? So I think, to answer your question, I think we're always trying to figure things out, figure where we want to go. We're having daily talks about which direction we want to go. I think in this climate, you have to be able to pivot and change really quickly. So yes, we want to grow, but at the same time, we also take it day by day and reevaluate where we're at, where we want to go, what niche we want to attract. And I think at the end of the day, it's really tapping into the different markets of fitness, and really honing into what they need. So I think that's been our strategy, and catering to the specific populations. Did I answer your question? I don't know if I did.
I also think a part of growing is, yes, you could open another location somewhere, but ultimately it's the people running it that really determine how it is. Like you just gave us excellent service, but if you have someone who's, not the best at, giving a massage or doing the cupping, then the location might not, the brand gets taken away from that.
Talk about that a little bit, like, it wouldn't be just so simple, like we open 10 more recovery modes, but you might not have the people that do the same. How is that a challenge for you to find people that kind of replicate what you guys do?
I think luckily we've been able to attract our tribe, and all of our employees have approached us wanting to work for us. So we've been blessed in that way. And I think moving forward, we obviously do want to keep the standard very high and to keep the services consistent throughout. And we're definitely working on that. I think another component of the business that we want to integrate is the educational side. So can we hold seminars? Can we hold workshops? Can we teach this stuff to people? And then from there, I think that's how we find who's meant to be and who's meant to work for us.
So obviously, like, Bomb as a company is about helping businesses expand and helping people in the community get what they want in their community. So when it comes to just that aspect of things, like expansion, and I'm sure you've been looking at certain locations, maybe just thinking about it at least, playing with the idea. What are some of the things as a business owner that you consider when choosing another location, or even just searching for another location? Even just thinking about it. Like, what are the first couple of things that come to mind that you factor in?
I think a lot of it would kind of come down to just the population within that area. What other gyms or other, local businesses can we grow with, and how can we work along one side another? Then you have, you can look at that same aspect as what's our competition? What are they doing right? What aren't they doing right? How can we position ourselves to be a better fit within that community? And even just with our growing clientele, we can see what works, what doesn't work. And a lot of people have been traveling from, let's say, Brooklyn, even Long Island, coming from far places, and they're always like, hey, I wish you guys were right here, but, as we're growing, we would love to expand.
Is there a sense of, like, it's something I wonder, growing, because Bomb is so new too, is there a sense of fear that you guys have, or maybe fear is not the right word, but like if you were to choose a location, there's a sense of fear you have, like, are there people that are going to walk through this door, or you guys don't have that fear? Speak a little bit about that.
I feel,
You can ask, go ahead.
I mean, I feel like as a business owner, there should always be a sense of unknown, right? To say you're so confident, I don't think it's always the best thing, because I think you grow in moments where you feel like you're uncomfortable. And I think we need that. Like, if, let's say, we're positioned in a place where we might not get really good foot traffic, we just have to think of new ways, innovate on, like, okay, what can we do, strategize to get more business to come here? If this isn't what's working, let's find a way to make it work. Maybe it wasn't plan A, we could shift to plan B, but I think that's what helps, is being adaptable in any climate right now,
I mean, I agree. I try to live not only in business, but everything, like, not in the comfort zone. Get away from the comfort zone.
Right.
The comfort zone, you don't grow.
So if you're looking to expand, obviously you're looking for places that, maybe have a demand for it. There's a lot of active people, gyms. Would it help to also, if you had a community that had a demand for this, and we had, maybe data to prove that, hey, Long Beach is looking to have a recovery mode in it. We don't have anything like that there, and you have, this community of people who want you to come. Would that help?
Of course, yeah. I think that by having that option for us, you do a lot of the legwork, right? Like, if you've already done the data, the research to show, like, hey, the community within this area who live here, they want this, it already gives us a yes. That's one of the yeses that we need. If it's the clientele, the population, if they're active, that's also the second. So I think you guys doing that work already definitely helps. And on another level, which is, if there are people who are interested in bringing our business, or just investors, I think that adds another layer for sure.
I'm excited to see what happens in recovery mode, because I know it's a dope business.
Yeah,
It's only been a year. A year is nothing. So,
I appreciate that. We appreciate that, man. That means a lot to us.
Thank you. I mean, hopefully we support your expansion.
I mean, I'm gonna be back next week.
Free service. Bomb is a free service. There's no
Yeah,
cash
there's
to it.
no
Yeah,
no
so
charges,
now,
no. We're essentially just trying to help businesses like you expand and feel more confident about where you're going.
I think whenever a business is trying to grow, I think the community aspect is huge. You got to know who lives there. You got to know what kind of people, what they eat, what they breathe. What are they passionate about? What do they love? What do they love to do? Do they love running on the beach? Do they love playing volleyball? Like, you got to know these things. And I think for us, especially tapping into the more active side of things, we need to know what kind of people are in this community. So I think Bomb would be a great service for us to utilize and to really capture the demographic.
I appreciate that, genuinely, and thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. This was I'm sold. I'm sold. You got to come to recovery mode.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if you don't live in Queens, you got to come to recovery mode.
And we don't
Pull
get
up.
the location. Thank you guys.